What's up, everybody? I'm Aiden.
I'm Clark, and welcome to Liquid Studio.
Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about our live drum setup. We've done some changes in the last couple weeks here, so we've been fine-tuning, and we just wanted to talk a little bit about what we're kind of doing here with those.
So today we're going to talk about the Roland RT mics and triggers, as well as the Roland TM2 module and the RT30 kick module.
So we were looking to how we could best get our drums sounding for live. We've been doing some recordings lately, and we found that
we recorded the drums with just the drum mics, and we also re-triggered the drums afterwards. We had people listen to both versions of the songs, and we found everybody just kind of preferred the trigger sound. They even said like that sounded more natural to them, like real drums, which to me is kind of crazy, but
it's just the clarity that you get out of them, and they say blending the triggers in with the drums. As you can see in our room here, we have a really nice treated drum room here. We're using really nice drums on our or nice mics on our drums. We're using the Aston Spirits
as our overheads, and we were using the Aston Origins on our toms. And then we are using a Shure Beta 52 on our kick.
And then top mic is a Beta 57 Shure, and then we have a 57 under mic as well. So we were really happy with the drum sound, but when we put the triggers, just the way it cuts across the whole mix is just phenomenal. So we were looking at ways like, well, what can we do for live so that we can consistently get that same drum sound day in and day out for any live shows? So we've been switching to kind of going ampless. Clark's playing with the more GE 300, as anybody who comes to our live streams knows. That's what we do all of our guitar tracks on. And I just go DI. I have a dark glass pedal for my bass. I go DI into that. So we were looking at ways to kind of simplify but make sure we get a consistent sound. And we found these, and they were on sale at Long and McQuaid here in Canada. It was like $130 per unit. The regular about $330, so it was a crazy
huge sale on them. So we decided we'd pick them up and try them out on the drum kit. We first just bought the one and tried it out on the snare, and after we heard the sound of it, we figured this was the route to go now with the band. And we figured this is perfect for a live situation because you can blend the trigger module and you can blend the microphone with it as well, so you can get the best of both sounds.
Yeah, it has two outputs on there. One is the sample, and the one is the condenser mic that's built into this unit. Or you can take the one input and you can blend them, and you can load your own samples into there. What we did is we have Addictive Drummer 2, so we just made some of our own samples using some of the packs that we have that we like. We fed those onto the drums. We had our drummer play around with them. We kind of fine-tuned them a little bit after that. We got them kind of where we like them, and yeah, we're super happy. So we're going to kind of go over, we're going to play some sound samples of the drum kit and then some samples of just these triggers. So what we're going to do for live, a quick rundown here is, so we have three mics, two toms and the snare. They all have those, all three of those. And then the kick, we have the Roland TM2, which is being fed the TD30 kick trigger. So we're taking the outputs of all of these, which are TRS outputs. We're taking those and we're feeding those into, we have a radial 19-inch rack 4 DI unit. So that's going into our 4 DIs, and then that way when we show up for a show, we can just give those 4 XLR outs to the front of the house, and then that will capture the whole drum kit, because these condenser mics, as you're going to hear, do a great sound of picking up the rest of the drum kit, as well as picking up the cymbals and everything else. So with those 3 mics on there and our 1 kick trigger, we're able to get the whole drum kit mic'd up and done. And the great thing is, like I said, it's going to sound pretty much the same, aside for the room acoustics a little bit. Like I said, in here, this is a really nice space. It's we don't get a lot of reflections.
But it's good. It's going to always give you a consistent sound for your live sound. No matter where you go out, what venue you play, your drums are always going to have that same consistent drum sound, and that's why we went that way with the modelers and stuff too for our guitars and our bass, so that way everything's just a much more consistent and even sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you, some samples of the drum kit, and then we'll show you in the mix from just a live setup of us playing in the room as the band, so you can hear kind of the song with the triggers as well as the drums in the mix without the triggers.
Yeah, so, and one final thing before we hear those, how this is set, the volumes on this, because you have the volume of your trigger, plus you have the volume of the condenser mic. We have the condenser mic to 10, and we have the triggers to 6. So that way, the triggers, we printed the triggers pretty loud, so we found that's a good blend. The trigger still cuts through, but it gives us a nice bit of bleed to get the cymbals and everything else. So like I said, that way when we show up to the show, it's literally these 4 inputs. We just feed those right to the front of the house, and that's the whole drum kit. Mic'd up, ready to go, quick, easy, and we're done.
Well, let's get to the sound samples.
So thanks for checking out the video. Again, as you can hear, these units are absolutely fantastic. They give a great sound out of them, and the flexibility of having a condenser mic and the trigger just really, for live, makes them super versatile. We were really happy with them. We're really excited about our first big show that we're going to get to take these out and utilize these things.
I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, we didn't use any processing on any of the sounds that you heard. So the guitars and everything, the drums, everything was just dry. No EQ or compression was done.
And one final note with these as well, these can be used as a regular drum trigger. With the TM2, you can get Y cables, and that can feed 4 inputs, so we could use it that way. We are looking at down the road, we have another kit. This is our drummer's Tama kit right here, right now, but we have a Pearl kit, so we're looking at, eventually we're going to put some mesh heads on that and look at converting that into a
hybrid
setup, and these are going to be fantastic for that because they'll be dual purpose. We'll be able to use them for live with our drummer and his real kit, and then we can also use them as a hybrid setup here with our drum kit, so we can play at any time of the night.
Put some MIDI in and quantize everything.
So thanks for checking out our video. If you liked it, please like, comment, and share. And there's a link down below. We're really excited for anybody who doesn't tune in. We do a live show here on YouTube, Community Jam, and our CD is being released March 5th.
Yes.
The link is below. It'll be on all streaming services, so we really appreciate if you check that out and support that. And there's also, we're doing that DistroKid. We released that through DistroKid. So there's also a link as well down below. So anybody, if you're looking at releasing your music, you can click on that link. You can save, I believe it's 7% off of your membership, and they toss us a couple bucks. So we would appreciate that. If you're on the fence too of signing up for DistroKid and releasing your music, definitely use that link, save a couple bucks. Take care, everybody.
Have a good evening.